What up, y'all? How's everybody doing? Give me a second.
Red Sox next 5 games, including today, will be played at 5 different times.
Right now, this is the Boston Red Sox.
Friday at 7:10, Saturday 4 o'clock, Sunday 1:30, and Monday, of course, 11 a.m.
against Pittsburgh before he got 2 runs on him. Boy, am I glad I dropped him.
And there's no other team in the majors
doing. I think he'll be good this year.
That's correct.
That's right now.
That's the only buenos dias of the year.
I dropped. You guys probably
heard
it what I said the last time. I'm going to turn the sound off.
Series coming up with Tampa Bay.
That's the Nesson Network. You can hear Jerry Reamy in the background. He's been with them forever, probably 20 years now. Good camaraderie network. Guys I like to listen to, and of course it's a day game. But what's up with you, MLB? You know, you're going to send Pittsburgh from Pittsburgh to Boston for today's day game, which would be at 2 o'clock East Coast. And then they got to fly. They got to fly somewhere. Cincinnati? I forget where they got to fly. Their next game is. But, I mean, that's ridiculous, man. You think you guys could just get the schedule right and fair for everybody? There's been complaints about that for many years, about the way schedules are in major leagues, that they suck. Someone needs to tag you on that. But anyway, so Gio Gonzalez, pitcher for the Washington Nationals, is really looking good this year. I'm like, whoa, dude. For his last 2 games, he pitched 7 innings against St. Louis, who aren't hitting right now, by the way. But he pitched against Miami, and both of these were at Nationals Park, which is what I'm going to call it, even if it's wrong. I don't care. That's where the Nationals play. It's Nationals Park. Stop all this corporate naming. I mean, you guys make plenty of money. Am I right? Am I right? You make plenty of money. You got to sell the naming rights of your stadium. It should just be the team name stadium. Simple. Or team name park. Simple. That's how it used to be. Now we sold our souls so we can squeeze a few more bucks out of. So he got 13 hits. And he gave up 2 walks, which is in the first game. He didn't give up any walks against St. Louis, which, if you know Gio, that's impressive, because he usually walks quite frequently a lot of batters. One of the things I do in the beginning of the year is I keep an Excel spreadsheet that I call stat analysis, and I look at the batters and the hitters, and I look at their underlying stats. So for hitters, you know, if they're hitting the ball hard, well, you know, maybe it just got hit to a fielder, but they're hitting the ball hard. If they're not swinging it outside the strike zone stuff, and they're not swinging and missing a lot, that means they got the process of hitting down. It's going to come their way sooner or later. So those are 2 things I look at, in addition to, you know, how many counting stats they're getting per at-bat. So, for instance, we got 20 at-bats. 40% of 20 at-bats is 8, which means, okay, 4 runs, 4 RBIs, no home runs, right? What could it be? Or it could be 2 home runs, 2 RBIs, and 2 steals. You know. So I look at that too. And with the pitching, which brings me back to Gio Gonzalez, Gio right now is excelling because he's got a league average sinker that he can mix in with a really good 4-seamer. That's probably his best pitch, in my opinion. But his curve and his changeup are above average. In particular, that curve really does him some good. Another good thing about Gio um, is that he's been around for a while. He used to pitch with the Oakland Athletics and get a lot of strikeouts. So he's only 33. He pitches in the National League. Is this a trend that I'm buying into? Yeah, I think he could be a good pitcher all year. Yeah, I do. He's only 33. He's still got good stuff. I mean, as is evidenced by the fact that he's got a four-seamer, which is almost 3% whiff rate above average. That's significant. His curve is almost 5 or 4 rather above average. And his change, which is a pitch that is so important for pitchers to learn because it takes people off the speed. It's also easier on your arm. You don't have to rely on those other pitches that basically, because you have to, if you do a slider, you hold it that side of the seam, so when you throw it, you tweak your wrist and your elbow. Your wrist and your elbow tweak off. Whereas when you throw like a four-seamer, or you're throwing over, so it's more in sync with your natural motion. You're not having a torque, and even if it's slight, it matters. And so when you do a change, it's the same thing as a fastball. Alright, when you do a curve, you tend to warp your wrist a little bit. So, I mean, these other pitches are stress on your arm. So if you can get a change and a fastball going mixture, and then mix in the other pitches, it really helps your arm out. You don't have to rely on those other pitches. We'll see what happens. Pick your boy up in my one league. That's basically the major change in my staff. Aaron Judge is now on my team. This dude is 6'7". He's a right-hander. He's got tremendous power. He's shown ability to make adjustments when he comes up. That was true throughout the minor leagues. And already, he's showing that he can hang. And not only that, he's got a lot of power. He's batting 7th right now, but I imagine over time he'll move up, at least to 5th or 6th. We'll see. I think it's going to happen. Maybe not for another month or two, but Joe Girardi has in the past shown that that's the case, and he's really good about working the youngsters into the mix, which is what I find impressive about Joe Girardi. So Aaron Judge has only got 6 strikeouts. And I think 24 at bats. That for him, the strikeout machine last year, because he had to make adjustments. He had to learn how to not swing at pitches and to wait for a pitch that he could hit and swing at it. I think that's what he's showing now. The Yankees are an interesting team in a lot of ways. They may not be the top team in the East, AL East, but they're interesting nonetheless because they got some guys who are young, a lot of pitching in their minor leagues, more than I can even delve into right now off the top of my head. But they have made trades the last few years to stock that minor league system up with pitchers, and they have got pitchers. Trust me, they have got really good pitchers all throughout. One of them just came up the other day. I talked about him yesterday, and I wasn't the only one who was impressed with him. So, of course, that was because I saw that with my own eyes. So, the Yankees have a nice mix of players. I mean, Chase Headley's looking like he'll be good. Whether that means he'll go back to his historic run when he hit, I think it was 32, 36 home runs with the San Diego Padres, I doubt that. But he could get up to 25. He could at least get north of 20 with a 260, 270 batting average and, at least, get up into the 80s in his RBIs. Maybe even more. Depends how this lineup shakes out. You start putting Chase Headley behind Aaron Judge, who sits at the 5th spot, You get your Chris Carter at the 4 spot with your Matt Eladay number 3. Matt Holiday. I don't know if I said that right. And, you know, Aaron Hicks right now, he's a survivable too. Probably not the best bet, but if you got Matt Gardner on the DL for a while, that's what's going to happen. But anyway, if it's Ellsbury and Gardner, number 1, number 2, Matt Holiday, number 3, Chris Carter. Ooh, where's Starlin Castro going to hit? That's right. Starlin Castro is going to move down to the number 7 spot. Aaron Judge is going to take his place in the number 5 spot. That's what I'm hoping for. The rotation's got a lot of promise. This dude, Luis Severino, this young kid, I loved him last year. He just fell apart. I'm like, what? Well, because it takes kids a little while to figure things out. He's still got a lot of potential. Not giving up on him. Masahiro Tanaka, I'm always worried about that elbow. Had a partial tear 1 or 2 years ago, and they didn't do surgery and made him rehab it. They decided to rehab it naturally, but it's always been in the background with this guy. If he's holding back a little bit because it hurts. Nevertheless, he's still got an 11% swing and strike rate, Masahiro Tanaka. CC Sabathia, the old man, you don't doubt CC's long-term ability to hang in there, although he's not the pitcher he used to be. He's like Andy Pettitte was in the latter couple of years of his career. I wouldn't be surprised if CC has a good run for a while. Once he gets in a groove, he can string together 9-10 games. He's been that all throughout his career. So that's what you want to do with CC. Okay, see when he gets in that groove, and you can throw him out there against the weaker offenses, especially the weaker offenses who are weak as well against left-handed pitching. I wouldn't put him out there in Yankee Stadium, though. That's just me. Michael Pineda showed how good he could be. If that is the Michael Pineda this year, if he learns how to control his pitches and not walk dudes, this guy's a Cy Young winner right here. He showed you last time how awesome he could be. I don't trust him, though. In the background, there's a lot of different pitchers who have potential. This dude, Luis Cessa, he came up last year, showed a lot of poise. 11% strike rate, swing and strike with 94, 95 fastball. I can see him coming out from the minor leagues at some point. You got a Rose Chapman, closer. You got Dylan Betances back there. You got Tyler Clippard, Chad Green. Not too many people know him, but he's got a 94, 95 with a 12.3% swing and strike rate. I mean, these are the guys in the back of the bullpen. Adam Warren, great middle reliever, could move up into a starting spot. It's been that way for a long time, and he was really good before he got traded to the Cubs for the Starlin Castro deal. And then he's now back with the Yankees. The Yankees got a pretty good bullpen. Their weakness appears to be right now their starting pitching. That's what it appears to be right now. This dude Jordan Morgan looks like he's going to be up for the duration as their 5th starting pitcher. We'll see how long that lasts. We'll see how long this whole thing lasts. But season's already begun pretty interesting. A lot of surprises in a lot of ways. One thing that I'm probably going to do at some point is, in my one league where I got 6 closers, I really need a 6th starting pitcher. See, the thing is, if you have 6 starting pitchers, they usually get 32 starts. You're not going to be the one who fortuitously picks the 3 starts where they suck. It ain't going to happen. It just ain't going to happen. Don't even try. So you start them out there for 32. 32 times 6 is 192. Now there's a cap of 200 starts per year. So once you get to 200, any other statistics starting pitchers are not going to go to your team. So you got to be frugal about that. So if you got 6 starting pitchers, That'll get you 192. You just need 8 more. I mean, that'll happen with you just moving stuff in and out of the lineup, so you don't worry about that. You don't worry about that. You know, throughout the year, you're not going to have the same 6 starting pitchers. This is why I don't like to really keep more than 6. On a rare occasion, 7. It depends who the 7 starting pitchers are, because this is true. You know, unless you think you're going to keep the exact same starting pitchers all year long, you know, you keep 6, you got 192. You only need 8 more. And that's going to automatically happen as you add and drop those 6, some of those 6 starting pitchers. I feel lucky if I keep 4 starting pitchers all year long, although sometimes it's only been 2 or 3. You know, you just got to see it and make the move. So this guy, Santiago Casilla, he's one of the closers for the Oakland A's. I feel like he's on the lower end of the spectrum. The 6 guys I got, I like Edwin Diaz, Alex Calame, Cam Bedrosian, Blake Trainin, Joaquin Benoit. So I'm looking for a pitcher that I can rely on. I was watching today's game hoping that Mr. Eduardo Rodriguez would show me that he can be that pitcher, but I'm not seeing that. I'm seeing a guy who walked 1, struck out 3, gave up 3 hits and 2 runs. He struck out 3 though. This early in the season, I wait. I don't make that move. Maybe I don't get Eduardo. Okay. Excuse me, I'm gonna cry. But there's plenty of pitchers out there. Just to let you see or know, on my watch list, Severino is one of those guys for me. I've always liked him. Let's see how he handles his next start, which is today against St. Louis. Let's see how that happens. There's plenty of other closers out there, potentially. So if I miss out on this one, I got 5. No big deal. Jared Eichhoff's I'm still satisfied with, but you know, he's a blowout waiting to happen. We've discussed him before. Jimmy Nelson, Milwaukee, you know, he's been around for a couple years now. Has always had a really good fastball. It's just been what he's mixing in with that fastball that hurts him. He plays at Milwaukee. Another strike against him because it's a home run heaven in my mind. So if you give up the fly ball, you're going to give up the home runs. But he's always been that kind of kid. He's always been that kind of pitcher candidate that struck me the 3rd, 4th year he could turn into something. You know, pitchers take a while sometimes to figure out what they can do with their stuff. And I think Jimmy Nelson might be in that category. So he's pitching today against Cincinnati. Let's see how he handles that. He's a candidate for me. Alex Cobb, in 13 innings, he's got 11 strikeouts, 2 walks. That's, you know, Alex Cobb, when he was around, he's coming off Tommy John surgery. So, you know, when he was pitching before then, the year before that year, which would have been the year before last, 2015, I think, 2014, he was a really good pitcher. I had him on my team. So I'm looking at him. This shiny new object, Amir Garrett, I don't trust him. To me, he's pitching dangerously right now. He's a kid. The adjustment's going to come. Let's see how he handles it. I don't trust him. Chase Anderson with the Milwaukee Braves. I said Braves. Brewers. They were Milwaukee Braves at one time, by the way. Back in the 50s, they went to the World Series twice, 57, 58. You may not know that. Milwaukee, 57, 58, World Series. Can't remember who they played. Probably, if I had to guess, it'd be the Yankees. At least one of them. Cleveland would be the other guess. And at least one of them. But I'm thinking they played the Yankees twice. 57, 58. That's when Hank Aaron and Gary Matthews, the third baseman, Warren Spahn, pitcher, Hall of Famer, all these guys. Another guy I'm interested in is this guy, Archie Bradley in Arizona, who is showing that he can be really good in the bullpen. You want to keep an eye on this guy because he could co-opt the closer role. He's got really good fastball, 94, 95. This fastball he's got. He's got a really good off-speed pitch. I don't know what you want to call it. What you want to call it? A changeup or a slider or a cutter. I don't know. No one's figured it out yet. But right now, Archie Bradley in 6 innings, is 10 strikeouts, 2 walks, only giving up 4 hits. He's yet to enable the run. I got mine on this kid. I think you probably should too. Patrick Corbin, another pitcher. Arizona, yeah. But he's always been a really good lefty. Strikeouts right now in 10 innings is 4. His walks is 4. Gave up 11 hits, but only 2 earned runs. Another pitcher I'm looking out on. Well, this has been the Nawlins Napsters rant for today. Sorry if I didn't scream and yell or get animated, jump up and down, throw my iPhone against the wall, open up the window, and scream obscenities. I'll try better. Next time I'll be a little more animated, and hopefully that will entice the crowd to want to partake in this awesome experience where they hear everything they wish come true, and they're told what they want to hear. Right? Peace out, y'all.